I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops. I've got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. One last one. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain. I've got strength like a mountain in my soul. In my soul.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this service at Lake Harriet that is hosted by First Universalist Church. My name is Jen Crow. My pronouns are she and her. It is my privilege to serve as the senior minister at First Universalist Church, just a few blocks away at 34th and DuPont. It is also an absolute joy and privilege today to get to lead worship with Dr. Glenn Thomas Rideout, with Allison Conley Vetter, with Reverend Ashley, with Reverend Laura. We have thanks to all the ushers and greeters, all the artists who are making this space possible, for John and Olu who are making our tech possible, for the folks here at the parks who make this opportunity and service and possibility for us to gather possible. We're grateful to Maria Heath, who project managed the heck out of this day, to facilities staff, to Jim and Tracy and their families who got up so early this morning to get all our supplies ready to go. Thank you to Security, who's with us today and every Sunday. Thank you to all of you who are here making this time of connection and care possible. If you're new, we're so glad you're here. We hope you will join with us again. Join us at church at 34th and DuPont next Sunday at 10. We'll mindfully pause. So welcome to this community we create together each time we gather, each time we take a risk on connection and on the power of love. Welcome to this time when we will unabashedly lean into the universalist understanding of faith that names each and every one of us and all beings as whole and holy and worthy, as welcome and wanted exactly as we are, all with room to grow. Welcome to this community of love and hope that is committed to practicing beloved community that is grounded in experiences of love that is so inclusive and expansive and irresistible that it cannot help but transform us as individuals and as a community. Join us in creating a world of mutual thriving here and now. Now, we know these statements of faith are a tall order, especially today. Each and every one, beloved, a love so powerful it can and will transform us individually and collectively, a world where it is possible for all of us to thrive. This week we have witnessed in our community some of the worst of what people can do to one another. For many of us, our hearts are broken and breaking. We are reeling and still working to make sense. It is in this moment, in this reality, that we arrive to this time and place, to this community where we gather year after year right here, in this place that knows our pain and our joy, this place where our collective children have grown up on the playground, in the water, where we have sat together listening to music or taking homecoming pictures, this place, this land and this water that holds the struggles and the joys and the stories, past and present, of the Mdewakanton Dakota, this place where many of us have walked or rolled or stomped or breathed it out alone and with each other on the path around this lake, this place where there are benches memorializing our beloveds. We have found ourselves here at the height of COVID when the closest we could be to each other was 6 feet apart outside. This place holds our hearts, our history, our memories, and this blue sky and this dear earth and water and air are holding us again as we hold each other in community and care. It is the repetition of familiar places, the rhythm of a community's life that can hold us when nothing makes sense, when there are not words. We can go to the healing places, to the healing waters together. Let this place and this rhythm hold you today as we remember that we belong to each other. So we remember that we belong to one another now, never alone on this journey, but surrounded by community and care. Surrounded by community and care, we make our faith real. So I invite us now to take a moment to turn and greet our neighbors, to make this fact that we are not alone real. I invite you to greet each other and to make it your personal mission to make sure no one is left out of this greeting, this extension of love and care. I invite you to share your name, your pronouns, and maybe what is holding you up or holding you together today. Let's go.
not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. I think we have a better lean on me in us. If we all rose with our bodies and our voices, if we all rose with our hands ready to clap, I bet this would go so swimmingly. Here we go. 1, 2. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. That's it. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean. One more time. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll help you carry on if you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna, let's finish strong, somebody to lean on.
Beautiful. I invite us to settle in with these words from the poet Rosemary Watola Traumer. In a circle of mountains, it's easier to remember we belong to the mountains, belong to high-pitched cheep of Pika, belong to the cliffs, to the path, to the unpath, belong to the blue, blue reach of sky. We belong as much to each other as we belong to ourselves. Each of us a poem read by strangers and beloveds in ways only they can read us. Each of us constantly rewriting our lines, while in the meantime, we are constantly rewritten by a great and unnameable isness that rhymes us each to each other. We belong to the truth that all belongs, even when we are most lonely, even when we would rather push away from the world. In a circle of mountains, it is easier to practice belonging, easier to notice this math. Your heart equals my heart, and all this opening to what we cannot know, that equals what a life is for. We gather to remember we belong as much to each other as we belong to ourselves. In the circle of each other's embrace, it is easier to remember, to practice belonging. Welcome to this circle of belonging. From this place, we engage in one of the rituals we do each time we gather. We light a chalice, a symbol of the light in each of our hearts. We share in a few intentional, deeper than usual breaths, and we speak the words that keep us together. Let's take one of those breaths. And if you know the words and would like to join us, I invite you to do so. And if you don't, that is just fine. Let them wash over you. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
I invite all of our kids and youth to come forward now to help me think something through that's really important. And as you come up here, come right here, up here so we can have an important conversation. Come on over from your chalk and your bubbles. come on over, come on up. And as you come up, I want to remind all of us that this worship is shared leadership with the airplanes, with the dogs, with the kids, with the bubbles, all that is here, the walkers and the runners and the conversations. This is all worship. We're all leading together. Come on, you can sit if you want. You don't have to stand. But you can stand if you want to. Really, it's whatever floats your boat. All right, my friends. So good to see you. Can you turn to the person next to you and say, I'm so glad you're here? You turn to the person next to you and say, I'm so glad you're here. That's right. Well, my friends, the conversation that we're going to have today is what we do or what we think people might need after something scary or sad or really big happens. So something happened this week in Minneapolis that was scary and hard, and that made people sad. In fact, a couple different things happened in Minneapolis this week that were scared or hard or made people sad. And some of you have probably had conversations about that with your families. And I hope you keep doing that. And families, if you need resources on how to talk to your kids about something that's hard, I hope you reach out to us and let us know. That's exactly what we're here for. But today I want to talk about what people might need after something happens that's scary or hard or sad. What people might need. So what things do you think someone might want to hear if they're scared or if they're sad or if something kind of big has happened in their life? What are some things you think they might want to hear? Yeah. Yes, comfort, a hug, or love. What else? What else might someone want to hear if something big or scary or sad has happened? What else? What might you want to hear? What have people said to you that have helped when something big has happened or when you're sad or upset? Take a deep breath. That's exactly right. Sometimes we just need to be reminded to take a deep breath. What else? What are other things people have said to you that have helped when you're scared or sad? Yeah. Having space? Sometimes having space is what we need. Yes. What were you thinking? I know, the airplane interrupted us. Any other things that, yes. Quiet, having some quiet. Sometimes when we're scared or sad or upset, we just need some quiet. We just need some space. Yeah. Yes, our parents sometimes tell us we have a safe space in our house and that it's filled with comfort and love. All of these things are true. All of these things are exactly what I would have said. Some other things that we can do are pray for them at church. Has anyone ever prayed for someone here at church in the time during the prayer? Have you said a prayer for somebody? Yeah. Have any of you ever said a prayer for somebody at church? Yeah, totally. That's one way we can show people our care. We can ask people what they need. Whoever, when something big has happened, someone said, what do you need? Has anyone ever said that to you? Has anyone said, what do you need right now? How about you all? Has anyone ever asked you what you need when something big or sad or scary has happened? Yeah, that can really help. Sometimes we can't know what other people need, and we have to ask. So we can do all of those things. You can do them with your family. You can do them with your friends. You can especially do them here at church. And we're going to put love into action today. Because what's at the center of our church? Sometimes we say something is the center of our church. Does anybody know what it is? Does anybody know up here? I'm hearing love. Does anyone think it's love? Love. We think it's love. I think it's love. I think we say love is the spirit of our church. Love is the spirit of our church. Yes. And community also, love and community, they kind of go together hand in hand, right? Love makes community. We certainly can't have community without love. So we have a couple different opportunities today for you to show love. And one of them is right up here, doing some chalk. Has anyone done some chalk yet today? Yeah? So we're going to continue playing with chalk. All kids, all adults, all teenagers, all cool people and uncool people, you are welcome to come up here and draw with chalk and play with bubbles. What we're especially going to try to do is write some nice words for people who might need to feel loved. So what are some nice messages we might write in chalk up here? Maybe some of you have written something already. What's some nice words we could write so that people walking by feel the love even as they see it on the sidewalk? Yes. We can do anything. Yeah, I think that's a great one. What else might we write on the sidewalk? Has anyone written? I see some words written on the sidewalk already. Has anyone? That was you? What were some of those words? Peace, love, and kindness. Exactly. So you have the chance up here to write some messages to people walking by. And you will also have the opportunity at this table over here where Gary is. Everybody wave at Gary. Hi, Gary. So over here at this table, you're going to have the opportunity to write some cards for people who are connected to Annunciation Church and School, who are in extra need of love this week, and anyone who's impacted by the incidents there. But you can also make a card for anyone in your life who you think needs an extra bit of love, an extra bit of care. So there are volunteers over there who will help you make cards. Miss Harriet is up here hanging out with you all, making some kind chalk messages, doing some messages, and blowing some bubbles. Everyone feels a little extra love and joy when they see some bubbles floating over their heads. One thing that we know is true about the world is that hard things are going to keep happening. That's part of what it means to be human and to live in a complicated world. But what do we also know? What will we always also have when hard things happen? Each other. We'll have each other. We will always have each other. You have this faith community. You have your families. You have your communities beyond this space. You have your beloved dogs. You have your people that really show up and come through for you every time. That's exactly right. And we will always have that, and we will always have it at church. So my friends, I invite you, you're welcome to stay up here, keep doing some chalk and bubbles. You're welcome to go over that a ways and make a card. And everyone else, you are welcome to do the same at any point throughout the service. Thank you so much. As you move into what's next, we're going to sing a song as well. I will say standing up and sitting down from this position is the hardest thing I'll do all day. Thank you. So we just talked a lot about love. Love is the spirit of this church. Love is at the center of Unitarian Universalism. We know this with our shared values. We're going to sing a song about love because sometimes we feel connected to different parts of love at different times in our life. St. Augustine of Hippo, who was a black African bishop, talked about the Trinity, about God, as being the lover, the beloved, and the love that flows between. And this is a song that I wrote based on those ideas, because sometimes we feel like we're lovers. Sometimes we feel like that's our role. But sometimes we need to be reminded that we're beloved by having to do nothing, by not having to earn it. We are beloved just because we are human. And sometimes we have to remember that we're love itself. We are love, and love will get us free. We'll sing each of these verses through one time to get the words in our head, and then we'll sing it through a couple times, and I invite you to sing the verse that you most need to hear right now, that is most true for you. Let's sing, We Are Lovers. I am a lover, and love requires loving of me. I am a lover, and love requires loving of me. I am a lover, and love requires loving of me. Let us live in love. Now we're going to sing, I am beloved, and love requires nothing of me. We don't have to earn love. We are beloved. Let's sing, I am beloved, love requires nothing of me. I am beloved, requires nothing of me. I am beloved, and love requires nothing of me. I am beloved, and love requires nothing of me. Let us live in love. And sometimes we are love. We're love itself. We embody, we personify love. So we'll sing, I am love, and love is how we're going to get free. We believe it. We believe it. I am love, and love is how we're going to get free. I am love, and love is how we're going to get free. I am love, and love is how we're going to get free. Let us live in love. Now, what's true is we need all of these. We have to be lovers. We need the lovers. We have to be beloved. We have to know our belovedness, and we have to be love. So this time I invite you, think to yourself right now, which of these is most true for you? Which do you most need to hear? Do you need to hear that you're a lover and love requires loving of you? Do you need to hear that you're beloved and love requires nothing of you? Or is it most true that you are love, and you know love is how we're going to get free? So I invite you, just let's kind of see where we are. Who feels like they need to hear that they're a lover and love requires loving of them? Can I get a show of hands? Who feels like that's kind of what's resonating? Who feels like they need to remember that they're beloved and love requires nothing of them? And who feels most true that they are love? Love is how we're going to get free. I am love. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's sing in the words most true for you.
Carry this all alone. You do not carry this all alone. For this is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone.
Good morning, beloveds. My name is Ashley. I'm one of the ministers here among you. I use she, her pronouns, and I have not been able to find words for this time all week long. There are no words that can hold this time. And when I can't find words, the planes rescue me by telling me to stop talking. I can't find words, I rest in embodiment. Last night, my 5-year-old couldn't sleep. How many of you have tried to sleep next to a 5-year-old who can't sleep? Yeah, nobody sleeps. And as we lay there, she said, "Mama, I just can't sleep. I can't get comfortable." And so she tried to make herself comfortable on top of me in many different contortions of how one might use a bed: horizontally, diagonally, me as pillow. And I was so tired this morning when I got up and she kept sleeping. And I also just thought, well, isn't this a metaphor for love? Sometimes I am that toddler who just cannot and will not sleep. And I flail against the closest thing that I can find that feels like love, and I pray it will hold me tight. And sometimes I am lucky enough to be the holder, to be the one used as pillow and trusted as love. So I invite you now to breathe deeply into your body and feel for the parts of you that need to be held, that feel like that 5-year-old flailing in pain and grief. And sit with those parts of you for just a moment of plain, interrupted silence. Yeah, that's what my inner 5-year-old sounds like too. And now, breathe into that body home of yours and feel for the part of you that knows wholeness and love exists no matter what. Feel into that heartbeat of yours that just keeps going, that breath of yours that keeps you company. This morning, we do not have the luxury of a space that allows us to go back and forth, as is our custom, reminding each other, you are not alone. We are holding it together after every prayer. But we can hold that in our bodies. We can hold that depth of knowing that even when we flail like a 5-year-old who cannot sleep, there is a part of us that also holds love and wholeness. And we can remind our own bodies that we are not alone. We are holding it together. And we can also remind each other that we are always in belonging to each other. We can remind each other that we will ban assault rifles. That can be a prayer we make with our feet and our phone calls and our direct action. That we will say goodbye to our innocence in this community to make change possible. And we will say one time, at least, you are not alone. We are holding it together. Let us do that now. You are not alone. We are holding it together. May it be so, and may we make it so. Amen.
Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
At this time, I invite all our kids and youth to come back up here because you have an important job that only you can do. And you're about to go on a little field trip with Miss Harriet. So I'm wondering, this is like a pop quiz, but with no grade. Does anybody know what our worship service is next Sunday? Yes, do you know? Oh my gosh, yes, you're getting water from your favorite place. That's exactly it. And does anybody know what that service is called? Yes. Water communion. Oh my gosh, amazing. Next Sunday is our Water Communion Sunday, and they're exactly right. What we do at Water Communion is we get water from some of our favorite places, and we all bring it to the sanctuary together. So I wish that we could bring some water from this service to next Sunday's service. But I don't see any water. What? There's water in the lake? Well, but I don't know. Do you think we could bring some of that water to church next Sunday? Yeah? But then when would we need to collect it? No, we would have to do that now. So you are going to go with Miss Harriet, and when I just give a little bit of a cue, in a totally not falling in the lake sort of way, to collect some water, and then next Sunday at the Water Communion service, any of you who are there can help bring this water forward. So, all right, look at me, because I have a very important word to say. So at church, when we send people off to do a task, we often call it a commissioning, because we're giving you a mission, commissioning. So what I need from you is to know, are you up for the task? Are you up to go get some water, to bring it back, and to bring it to Water Communion next Sunday? Are you up for it? You're up for it? Okay. In that sense, you are commissioned. You are blessed. Go and gather the water for us. Thank you.
The song I sang a few minutes ago has been a standing stone, a foundation, a prayer stone for a lot of folks, particularly in the last few days. And I want to offer an opportunity to sing it again as we deepen our time of worship and community together. Delta Airways is going to help. You know, the universe's part is one of the characters in this worship service, and we ought to treat the sounds around us not as interruptions, but as opportunities. I, for example, am taking the opportunity as a preacher who doesn't do this much to shut my mouth. And to listen more often to things than to beings, right? Yeah. May this song be of comfort to you. May this song be right there, exactly when you need it. Let me sing it. Let me sing it for you. And if you know it, help me teach it. It goes like this. You do not carry this all alone. Will you sing that with me?
You do not carry this
all alone. You do not carry this all alone. Sing it with me. You do not carry this all alone. For this is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone. For this is way too big for you to carry this on your own. So you do not carry this all alone.
It was a little over 18 years ago when I found myself sitting alone under some intense fluorescent lights in a basement hallway on a rickety folding chair in a hospital. My wife, Loretta, had been admitted a few hours earlier and was on her way to give birth to our son, Henry. He was going to arrive by cesarean section, and the nurses had swooped in and taken Loretta off for a procedure. I wasn't allowed to go, so there I was, just sitting out there in the hallway. Of course, my worry was humming at a fever pitch. I didn't like being separated from her in that moment. I was worried something was going to go terribly wrong, and I felt so incredibly alone out there in that hallway. I started to panic. I could feel my breath coming too quickly, like it was too much. And then I remembered to focus in on my breath, to slow things down, to feel my feet on the floor, and then to pray. I prayed for Loretta and for Henry. I prayed for the doctors and the nurses and everyone who was caring for my wife and child. I prayed that I might be able to show up in the ways that they needed me to, that they might be okay. And sitting there under those fluorescent lights in what I swear was an ugly green hallway, I had something that I can only describe as a spiritual experience. As I sat there breathing and praying for my own wife and child and the people caring for them, I felt my heart expand to the point of cracking open. I heard the words in my own head expand to the point of cracking open, expanding to include everyone who's ever sat there, bedside in a hospital, there in a hallway, there on the side of the road, anywhere in the world, worried and afraid for the life of a loved one. I felt myself connected to anyone and everyone who's ever worried or prayed for or wished for the care of doctors and nurses and others they couldn't even see, who were doing the work they couldn't do of caring for someone that they loved. I found my heart breaking open, my prayers and my love taking wing. It felt like too much. It felt exactly right. Because who hasn't sat there worrying and hoping for the care of a loved one? It happens in all times, in all places, in different situations and different ways, but this was me and this was all of us, all at once, even as I knew my luck and my privilege in sitting in the basement of a hospital that had resources and care for me and my family. Somehow the connection across time and space, across circumstance and culture was profound. The distance separating me from others had slipped away, and there we were, all connected. In the true of the true, the real of reality of our actual existence, that we are in fact connected, no separation between us, that we are not in fact bound always by time or place or circumstance. We are connected, heart to heart, through air and water and breath and being. We are connected. In a circle of mountains, the poet told us earlier, it's easier to remember we belong to the mountains. When we look up to the sky, it is easier to remember that we belong to the wide blue of the blue that is ever expanding. When we gather together in community, be that a community of memory or presence of one other person or 100 or thousands, it is easier to remember that we belong to each other as much as we belong to ourselves. There are moments for each of us when we remember that we belong to each other as much as we belong to ourselves. Moments we remember we belong to the mountains, to the air, to the sky. We belong to each other as much as we belong to ourselves. These moments of profound connection happen for us in all kinds of ways. Maybe when we are in nature in the circle of mountains. Maybe when we are held in the familiar rhythm of communal life. Maybe in times of joy, when we cross through milestone moments we know others have before us. Maybe, too, when pain cuts across our community and pierces our individual and collective hearts like an arrow. When we are left feeling angry or stunned or in grief. When we are forever changed and challenged in ways none of us would have ever chosen. Today, when we are in one of those profound moments, when what we can choose to feel is connection, what I want for us is two things. First, I want you to know that you are held in the circle of the mountains, the circle of the sky, and the generations and the stories that stretch backward and forward beyond what we can even imagine. I want you to know that in your own unique and glorious individuality, your unique particularity, you are part of something so much bigger, something so large, it holds you. It breathes you as you breathe it. You are held by a love that will not let you or anyone else go. And there's nothing you or anyone else can do to be outside that circle of love. You are beloved simply by being. You are a part of this and all the larger cycles of life that holds us even in those moments when your heart or our world are feeling like they are being ripped apart. I want you to know that kind of love without a doubt, and I want you to know this too. When your heart equals my heart, as the poet says, when we belong to each other as much as we belong to ourselves, and that we actually includes all of us, then we are in fact saying yes to the kind of universalist love that Dr. Mark Hicks describes as a love that will not let you go, a love that will not let you down, and a love that will not let you off the hook. It's a love that we have to make real because we are not let off the hook. When we belong to each other as much as we belong to ourselves, then we are, as the poet Gwendolyn Brooks wrote, we are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond. That means that in this moment, we are each other's harvest, all of us. That in this moment, we are each other's business, all of us. That we are each other's magnitude and bond, each and all of us. So the question I ask us for today is, what does it mean to you in this moment to allow yourself to be held by a love that will not let you off the hook? What does it mean to be each other's business, to be each other's harvest, to remember that we are all connected even when we want to push away from each other? What does it mean to be responsible for one another? Maybe it's something as tangible as reaching back out to that person you said hello to earlier today and actually getting their phone number. Maybe sending a text or a call or asking them for coffee later this week to say, how are you really doing? Maybe it's heading over to our tables and joining your art and your words and sending your love to folks who are grieving and hurting and who need an extra boost today and always. Maybe it means spending some extra time and checking in with your neighbors wherever you live. Maybe it's checking in with the teacher or the child who is somehow making their way back to school this week. Maybe the parent or grandparent. Maybe it is reaching out and sharing that extra love and care and protection with our trans and non-binary beloveds, with anyone who has ever been impacted by violence. Maybe it means you continue to call out the continued racial and economic disparities in the ways our country and communities pay attention to the presence and impact of violence and alienation, while extending care to those most in need. How will you make this love real? How will we not only feel loved and beloved, but be the love that is needed in this world? To remember we are each other's as much as we ever are our own. We are each other's harvest, friends. We are each other's business, each other's magnitude and bond. How will you make that real today? May this be our spiritual question. May this be our work. May it be so. Amen.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Reverend Laura. I use she, her pronouns. One of the great privileges and humble parts of my job is that I get to provide one-on-one pastoral care with folks in this community and beyond. I hear people's stories. People carry so much individually. Some is known and much is not known to one another. This congregation is a sanctuary for so many people, and certainly we can help in profound and deeply caring ways when folks need assistance. And other times, there are so many other times when I refer people out to organizations and agencies in the local area who have expertise way beyond that of any of the staff members at this church. Today, the offerings recipient is the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery. The Crisis Nursery is there for families who are living amidst violence and uncertainty. Families who come to the nursery face numerous barriers, including unemployment, homelessness, medical or mental health concerns, poverty, and of course, domestic violence. They have a number of core services at the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery, including a hotline, counseling, education, connection to community resources, and even visiting folks in their homes for mental health care. And they also provide 3 days break to parents who are trying to figure out how to make the next step, their next move, for kids who are newborn up until 6 years of age for 3 nights. And these kids are brought in and they are surrounded by love with caring and competent volunteers and staff. They are given a moment where their bodies and their hearts and their minds can rest and they can play and be adored and safe. They estimate that it's $1,300 for a kid to be cared for 3 days. They need meals and clothing and a cozy bed and staff. We know there's no such thing as other people's children. And Jen just said we should be getting into other people's business. So let the love and the care of this community find its way to these children and families so in need of our care and the care they find at the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery. Let them be met with generosity and care of this community when they need it the most. If you picked up one of these pieces of paper, there's a QR code for giving to the Minneapolis Crisis Nursery. If not, you can pick one up afterwards. Will the ushers with our fancy plastic boxes please come forward?
We are connected to one another, not only in this time, but across time, beyond time, and forever. Last Sunday at our backpack blessing, we talked about how the air we breathe now is dinosaur air. It's the only air there's ever been. This song is called the Universe Song. This is a song I wrote to remind us that we are connected to everything before and after, to the entirety of the universe that is co-creating this worship service, but you have a special role in this song. When we say the word dust, when you hear the word dust in this song, does anybody know what you do? Poof! You do a big poof. Let me see your poof. Poof! Amazing. And then the very last line of the song will say, that will be enough. And I want you, when you hear that, I want you to turn to the person next to you and say, that will be enough. Can I hear that? That's right, like you believe it. The person next to you, you say, that will be enough. That's exactly right. Let's sing, folks. Our skin is the stuff of the stars. Our breath is the breath of the dinosaurs. And the water in this blood of ours turns mountains into dust. We circle around the sun, living lives in a world that's just begun. And when our time living lives in the world is done, we return into the dust. Ooh, we return into the dust. Ooh, we are so little and so much. As the universe expands, we do our best to the best we can, 'cause all there is all there's ever been, and that will be enough. That will be enough.
That will be enough.
Let's sing it again. Our skin is the stuff of the stars. Our breath is the breath of the dinosaurs. And the water in this blood of ours turns mountains into dust. We circle around the sun, living lives in a world that's just begun. And when our time living lives in the world is done, we return into the dust. Ooh, we return into the dust. Ooh, we are so little and so much. As the universe expands, we do our best to the best we can, 'cause all there is all there's ever been, and that will be enough. That will be enough.
Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Ah, whoosh, sa, whoosh, sa. Friends, the youngest among us, our endowed professors of creativity and exploration have collected for us water. Water which reminds us that we are all bodies of water. Water that reminds us that because we are all bodies of water, we are connected one to another by our common mother, the water. Now, I need your help to bless this water as we take care of it. When we get to za, I'd love for the whole room to go za. Would you go za with me? Za. Yes, exactly. And then we'll have to whoosh after that, and we'll go like this. Whoosh. Your turn? Whoosh. Good, great. Now, za looked like, whoosh looked like. Excellent. We've got all we need to bless this water. Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Here we go. Zah. Whoosh. Zah. If we want to take care of ourselves, we'll take care of the water. And if we want to take care of the water, then we'll take care of ourselves and each other. May this moment be blessed. And thank you, water collectors. Can we appreciate them loudly?
Beloveds, as we prepare to close this time, I want you to know a few things. One, if you're trying to donate using the QR code and you see it's going to the church, please proceed. I promise we will get it to the crisis nursery. We'll know it's from this Sunday and we will get it to the right place. Two, I want you to know there is a community space happening today and tomorrow from 10 to 4 at the Lyndhurst Recreation Center. It is a space to gather and care for one another today and tomorrow. There'll be children's activities and snacks and counselors and therapy animals and a mobile blood drive and interfaith leaders, including Reverend Karen Hutt, who will be there tomorrow from noon to 4. I encourage you to stop by to give and receive care. At least I saw you on the list. Two, last week, Lyndhurst Recreation Center. So I'm sorry I don't have the address on me, but if you take a look it up, Lyndhurst Recreation Center. Number 2, last week was our annual backpack blessing. Some of you were there, some of you may have missed it. If you want to receive your backpack blessing item, which is a fossil to help us remember our connection to all of life, for kids and teachers and bus drivers and parents and grandparents and any of us, they're right up here after the service to receive and have a blessing.
Doing great.
And then, right after we're finished, there is a potluck meal up the hill. You can see the picnic tables all set up. If you didn't bring food, don't worry, it's potluck. Everything works out. Come on up and join in community. Join us at church in person or online next week tomorrow at 10 for water communion. Put yourself in the circle of community where it's so much easier to remember that we belong to each other. And now I invite you, if you feel comfortable doing so, if you're able to rise or stay seated, to join hands with one another, that we might feel the spirit of connection. If holding hands is not right, that is just fine too, but I want you to know you are connected. You are beloved, and nothing is required of you to know that love. You are love, and love is so much required of us as we build this community. It is together that we will get free, and you are required for that. May love be in your heart and hands and in our work and our ways together. May it be so. Amen.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know, and we will get there. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know it will be hard. It will be hard. We know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. But we know, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. One more time, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Go in peace, my friends. Amen.